Because metalheads tend to communicate with each other using grunting noises, we just started naming things after the noises we hear in the music. THALL is a guitar technique that I would describe as a mixture of a specific type of distortion combined with low-tuned guitars and a more bending, expressive playstyle. The tonal character of the guitar is usually so distorted that it creates harmonic distortion, giving it almost the effect of a screaming voice. While I would describe djent as usually more rhythmic and repetitive, usually to support the vocals during the verse of a song, commonly in like metalcore, THALL is a lot more varied in note length and pitch. It's kind of all over the place. Sometimes it's a deep, low, drawn-out growl, and other times it's a squealing, heavily edited pitch harmonic, and usually used during a breakdown where everything is slowed way down. You'll see what I mean in a second. Listen to the band that has contributed the most to this style, called Vildhjarta. So side note, Vildhjarta actually released a shirt that has the definition of THALL on it, and they claim it wasn't anything to do with the sound, but I will simply refute that fact because I don't like the answer. So as you can surmise, the reason neither djent nor THALL can be called a genre is because they don't really encompass a general enough amount of sounds to describe a whole band with, even like a whole song. One song can easily feature both of these styles. I guess we could call it like jall or thint. Either way, it just gets too complicated. So despite being relatively obscure other than meme potential, I've noticed an increase in a lot of popular metal bands who are utilizing their sound. So I figured I'd try to do some research and find some bands for you guys to listen to. One that has stuck out to me recently who is doing really impressive work is Mirar. And I'm not sure if it's Mirar, that could be my Southern American pronunciation of it. And I think it's actually two guys working together, and occasionally they'll get like a vocalist on some tracks. And they do some really impressive stuff, and I've watched them grow in viewership, but they're still criminally underrated. I think like they have like 3,000 Spotify listeners, which is insane for what they do. Actually, let me fact check myself. 17,920 monthly listeners. Wow, that is 5 times the amount it was before. That is the Nick Nocturnal effect, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I hate that guy. He's actually my mortal enemy because he always talks about a band right before I'm going to talk about them, and it frustrates me. Anyways, you'll notice a lot of the characteristics we talked about before, the squealing, insanity, and intensity. It's really mind-blowing. What you'll also notice is that a lot of these bands will incorporate these echoey ambient parts between the heaviness. I think this is a key part of THALL because all of this intensity can lead to a lot of ear fatigue, so the ambience adds more dynamics and contrast to each song. Another band that does this is ATER. I'm not sure if it's ATER. I think it's probably ATER. It wouldn't be ATER. Anyways, listen to this. And if you do a little more digging, you'll find some really good content that scratches that itch. Olympus Lenticular is a pretty good, purely instrumental choice for your thallish desires. A one-man project from Wisconsin. The next project is from Bangladesh and puts out music so fast that you cannot listen to it fast enough. 114 listeners on Spotify. This is another one-man project. He's really creative with the electronic elements in his music, so you'll randomly get these trap-inspired beats just thrown into your THALL, and that's pretty sick. So here is the Abstract Space. THALL can actually be interwoven with many different genres. One example I found is actually a mixture of Swedish folk music and Viking sounding vocals interwoven into this really intense heaviness. Every song on their newest album is about a different entity in Scandinavian folklore. So here is Harkla. And if you like the incorporated folkish elements and like a band who doesn't mind being a little more experimental, this next band uses all kinds of flutes, upright basses, violins over the top of the most crushing riffs ever. It's done really tastefully in my opinion. It's called And All I Can Say Is. And then a just really good combination of everything I found is a band called Path of Giants. They identify as progressive deathcore, which I think somewhat fits because I think they share a lot of similarities with bands like Humanity's Last Breath. And then last one for this episode, there is a band from Australia called Elision? You guys know that the way I pronounce things is just, because I only read it. I never hear anyone say it, so it's just me guessing, because no one I know in real life even listens remotely to the music that I do. You guys can probably relate to that. But these guys, they have dubbed themselves schizo rock, which I think is quite cute. I think you could classify these guys as a lot of things, but it's obvious that there is a THALL-like quality to a lot of what they do, whether that's intentional or not. Either way, I think if you're a fan of THALL, you'll probably enjoy this whole schizo rock thing. Fuck And that's it for episode 1. That was fast. You'll get 2 more if you're lucky. And if I could actually manage to finish a video series, because this is like the 3rd part 1 that I've done of everything. I'm considering just having about 100 episode 1s of different variations scattered across my channel. And then once I get your attention, I just kind of move on to the next one. Well, anyways, see you guys next time.